So now we are going to start sewing, starting with the back cover. Since we cut 2 pieces, so you're going to get the right side of the first piece and place it on the right side of the other piece. Remember, we cut out the lining too, so we are also going to get the lining and place it on top of the material. One lining is enough. So you need to get your pins. As you can see, I'm pinning my work because I want my work to be very neat, very neat. So you need to be having pins. We are going to sew around the neckline like this, here, here and here. We are sewing the neckline only. Then for the front cover, we are also going to get the materials, and we get the right side of the material and replace the other right side of the other piece of material as we did on the back cover. As you can see how I'm doing it, please don't forget to put the lining. Don't forget to place the lining. Then we are going to sew the neckline also. Now we are going to the part that is meant for the buttons. You also place the right side facing the right side of the other piece of material. You also put the piece of lining that we cut out. We are going to sew only the straight side. Only the straight side. Please don't sew the other side that is slanting. When you are sewing the front cover, you're going to sew around the neckline. So even down there where the buttonholes are to be placed, but you should leave 1 inch, then you sew. Now I'm done with joining my covers and I'm going to iron. I'm going to show you how to iron. Please get the flat iron, some water and a piece of cloth. Now we are going to open up our work because we are going to press, we are going to iron along the seams. So you open up the seams. As you can see, I'm opening up my seams. You have 2 sides. As you can see them, there are 2 sides. Open up and get the piece of cloth. Then you're going to place the piece of cloth on the seam. As you can see, I'm doing it here. Then after you get the water, pour some water on it. Then you iron, or some people call it pressing. That is how we are going to press all the edges. This is how my seam or edge looks like after ironing. So after ironing, we need to make the notches on all the corners, around the corners. As you can see, I'm making a notch. Make sure that you don't cut the thread. For this other end, we first cut out the excess. As you can see, I'm cutting it out. Then after you make the notch. As you can see, I'm making the notch. After we turn our work on the right side, if you want to have a sharp corner, you can use your pair of scissors to push that corner to have that nice corner. As you can see, I'm using my pair of scissors to have that nice looking corner. This is how the back cover is looking like. So here I'm showing you how the cover will look like when it's done being sewn. Now we are going to join the pieces, the back, the front. We are going to join them. You're going to get this and this. You're going to open it out. As you can see, I'm opening it out. Open out the other part also. Make sure that the seams are joining. We are going to sew here. Please make sure that the seams meet. Just make sure that the seams meet so as to have nice work, nice looking work. You can use your pins. As you can see, I'm pinning my work. As I told you about the pins, please don't be tired of pinning. I'm done pinning that side. Now I'm going to show you how to join the other part. You're also going to open out both parts, as you can see. You also make sure that the seams are joining. Then you pin your work. Then you sew around there. I'm done joining my pieces. Now I'm going to iron or press. Please don't forget to iron. Every seam you make on the gomesi, you should iron. You should press. I'm done with ironing. This is how my work looks like after ironing. This is how my cover looks like. This is how it looks like. Let me hope that yours looks like this. Looks like this. If you're in a step like mine. So this is where the button holes will be, and this is where the buttons will be. Now we are going to top stitch around the neckline. Top stitching from down, coming around the neck area up to down there. So now I'm done with my top stitching, and this is how my cover looks like. Please, if you're top stitching, make sure that your stitches are neat. Stitches should be very, very neat to have a nice looking top stitch. Now we are going to the sleeves. We are going to make the sleeves. These are my cutout pieces of the sleeves, material, and the lining that we cut out together. So you get again the right side of the material facing the right side of the lining. If your lining doesn't have a right side like mine, you just place. But if it has a right side, you should place the right side of the material facing the right side of the lining. We are going to start sewing the hem. Starting with the hem. So this is the wrong side. It's the wrong side. This is the right side. This is the right side, and this is the wrong side of the lining. So I'm going to sew along here. Then after, we shall flip our work. So now I'm done sewing my sleeve. I'm done sewing my hem, and I'm going to press or iron. As I told you, please don't be tired of ironing. I'm going to iron. As you can see, I'm opening up the seams. Then I'm looking for my piece of cloth. The piece of cloth prevents you from putting the iron box directly on the material, because you might burn it, you never know. So you need a piece of cloth to prevent that heat from the iron box to go directly on the material. So as you can see, I'm pressing or I'm ironing. So if we are done ironing, we are going to make our hem. This is how our work was. Now we are flipping our work on the right side. This is how it looks like after flipping. This is the right side. Now we are going to make the hem, the real nice hem. You're going to pull the lining up. As you can see how I'm doing it, you pull the lining up. I'm having a hem of this type. I know some of you know how to make this type of hem. I don't know how it's called. Then after you press. This is how my hem looks like after ironing or pressing. Now I'm going to pin to prevent it from disturbing me as I'm joining my sleeve. So you have to pin. So as you can see, the lining that is up here, the excess lining. So now we are going to put the stiff net. We are going to put it in between the material and the lining. As you can see, I'm putting the stiff net in between the lining and the material. As you can see, the way I'm doing it, the way I'm placing it. Don't mind the excess stiff net. We shall cut it out. Don't forget to pin your work. After pinning, we cut out the excess stiff net and the excess lining. As you can see, I'm cutting out my excess, the excess stiff net and the excess lining. I'm done cutting the excess out. Now we are going to join the sleeve. So you're going to first sew around the edges of the sleeve. Like we are going to join the material to the lining to the stiff net, sewing around like this, like the one I'm showing you, up to where the sleeve ends. So done sewing around. So after sewing around, we are going to join, but we are joining the sleeve on the right side. We are going to join here. We're going to join here. Now I'm done joining my part. Then we cut out the excess raw edges, yeah, the raw edges. As you can see, the way I'm cutting them out. Then after we remove the pins, because we are going to flip our work. Now we are going to turn our work inside. As you can see, the way I'm turning my work, like this. Now we are going to stitch from inside, because we want to cover the raw edges that we stitched on the right side. We are sewing from inside. Now you're going to stitch here. If you stitch, I think you can see how it will look like if you're done stitching. Now you can stitch. So I'm done stitching my side. Now if you're done, hope you can see how your work looks like on the front side. So now we are going to mark where the pleats are going to start from. Please get your tape measure. We are starting from here. We are starting from here, and we are going to mark 10 and a half. 10 and a half. I think you can see how I'm holding the tape measure. Please move the tape measure the way I'm moving my tape measure till when you locate 10 and a half. I've located the 10 and a half, and I'm going to mark. I'm marking using a notch. Using the notch. I think I showed you how to make the notch. So I'm now making my notch, my mark area. Now my pleats are going to start from the first notch to the other part of the notch. After making the notches, then you turn your work on the right side. Turn your work on the right side because you are going to sew from the right side. Now we are going to start making the pleats. Now let's get started with the pleats. Make sure you have your scissors with you because you will need a pair of scissors. They'll be helping us in the pleats. Make sure that your presser foot is working very well, your presser foot of the machine, because we will be lifting it up every time. Now I've started sewing. As you can see, I've placed my pair of scissors next to me because the scissors are going to help me in making the pleats. So I'm sewing. Now we are making our first pleat. As you can see, I'm making the pleat. Make the pleat, then get your pair of scissors. Make sure that your presser foot is up and the needle is in your work. And you push till when you feel the needle. As you can see how I'm pushing the pleat up to when I'm feeling the needle. then you sew. So we are making the second pleat. Pressure foot should be up, the needle should be in your work. As you can see, I'm making the second pleat. So again, you're going to fold another pleat, then you push it till when you feel the needle. Hope you can see them. The first pleat is on top of the second pleat, as you can see them. Then you stitch. So now I'm making the third pleat. Again, you fold the pleat and you push it till when you feel the needle. Then you stitch. So you're going to do this up to the next notch, the other notch that we made. It doesn't matter on the number of pleats you've made. It doesn't matter on the size of pleats you've made. Some can make 10, some 6. It doesn't matter on the number of pleats that you have. I'm done with putting the pleats on both of my sleeves. And this is how they look like. I know some of you have been waiting for this stage, for this part. Let me also show you the other sleeve. Actually, I have a different number of pleats on both of my sleeves. The number of pleats is really different. Let me try putting it on and you see how it looks like on me. This is how it looks like on me. Hope you can see how beautiful it is. So now we are going to our main piece. We are going to place the cover on our main piece. We are going to first put the color that you see in the gomesi. So you're going to fold your gomesi into two parts. As you can see, I'm folding the piece into two parts. I'm done with folding the main piece. And now we need to get the full length of our customer. The full length. We're going to get the full length. We subtract 7. Then we divide the balance by 2. Full length is 58. Then 58, you're going to subtract 7 from the 58. The 7 was the length of the cover. So 58 minus 7, we have 51. My material is folded into two parts. So we are going to get the 51 and we divide it by 2. After dividing by 2, I have 25 and a half. Some call it 25.5. We are dealing with inches. We are measuring the 25 and a half from the unfolded side, going towards the folded side. Then you mark the 25 and a half. I'm sorry about using the pen, but the chalk I had wasn't seen. So we are going to mark all the way this side to have a straight line. The easier method, after marking 25 and a half, you place your tape measure on the folded side and you measure what you've been left with, what you're remaining with. I was left with 3 inches. So now we are going to sew along. Now I'm done sewing that straight line. This is what I have. We have two sides of the gomesi, this side and the other side. So the other side will be for the modalizo. So this side that's not for the modalizo, we are going to make some simple hem. On the folded side, this is where we are going to place, this is where we are going to start when we are placing the cover. Hope you can see how I'm folding it. Before stitching, when you come down here where you made the midline here, you're going to, you place that thing to look down, then you stitch. Now I'm done with making that simple hem. And now we are going to place the cover on our main piece. We are starting with the longer side when we are placing the cover. The longer side, the side that is meant for the buttons, the only part that you cut. So now you're going to get your tape measure. You're going to measure 9 inches from where you made the simple hem going inwards. You can place a pin where your 9 inches are, or you can even mark there with a piece of chalk, but placing a pin is better. Then you get the longer part, the part that is meant for the buttons. We are going to stitch it on the main part, on the bigger part. We are going to start sewing on the inside side like this. We have two sides of that piece of cover. We are only going to place one side. As you can see the way I'm doing it, we are placing it where we marked the 9 inches. You're stitching only one side. You're stitching only one side. So you pin and then you stitch. Please don't get tired of pinning. Don't get tired of pinning your work. Now we are going to place the other part of the cover. Now we are going to measure 5.5 inches. We are marking where the sleeves are going to be placed here. Like the armhole is 5.5 inches. Then again you mark or you pin where the 5.5 inches are. Then you mark or you pin. Now I'm going to put the other part of the cover. You're going to skip this part, and we are going to place the other downer part. As you can see the way I'm holding it, I'm going to place the downer part. I'm placing it where I marked the 5.5 inches. Let me hope you can see the way I'm doing it. It's a little bit confusing, but you can try to see the way I'm placing the cover. So the distance that I've left is for the armhole. That's where the sleeve is going to be placed. Then you pin or you stitch. The gomesi I'm dealing with is a little bit slippery. That's why you can see it somehow disturbing me. But we shall finish the tutorial. So you can see I'm pinning my work, or you can even stitch. But I want to first pin and I show you how it looks like. Then I will stitch later. After pinning or after stitching, then again we are going to measure 5.5 inches. Then again I bring the remaining side, the remaining part of the cover. Then you stitch or you pin. I'm done stitching the first side of the cover. Now we are going to bring the other part of the cover. As you can see I'm holding it. I'm going to bring the other part and I fold on top. So as to make a nice top stitch and to cover the raw edges. Let me hope you can see how I'm folding it. Just a simple fold. Then you top stitch. So I'm going to show you how mine is looking like when I'm done top stitching. Hope you can see. Looks really nice. Make sure that you're top stitching. The machine has nice stitches. Place your work on the right side because you're going to put the sleeves. My work is on the right side. Let me get the sleeve. After getting the sleeve, we are going to count the number of pleats that we made. As you can see, I'm counting. I have 8 pleats. Now I have to get the mid of these pleats. Now this is the mid of the pleats. I'm going to hold the mid of the pleats and I attach it here. Let me hope you can see how I'm attaching it. I'm attaching it on the right side because you're going to stitch on the right side. We are stitching on the right side, then after we shall cover the raw edges inside like the way we did on the downer part of the sleeve. Then you pin. Please don't forget to pin. Pinning is really nice actually. Then we are going to stitch the sleeve on the right side. As you can see, the way you're going to stitch it, like this, like this, like this, like this. Now I'm done joining the sleeve to the cable to the main piece of the gomesi. Hope you can see how it's looking like. Then after you cut out the excess raw edges, as you can see I'm cutting them out. You cut out the raw edges because we want to flip our work and we hide the raw edges inside. So if you don't cut them out, your work will not look nice. Hope you can see how I'm turning the sleeve, and we make like how we made it down here. So if you make that, then our sleeves are done. Our sleeves will be done. Hope you can see how mine looks like now. And now we are remaining with the modalizo. Hope you can see how the sleeves are looking like inside. This is the other part of the sleeve, as you can see. Now we are going on the modalizo. I don't know how it's called in English. I just know it in Luganda as modalizo. We are putting the modalizo on the other side that we didn't put the small hem. Now you have two sides of the gomesi, the right side and the wrong side. Now this is the right side. This is the right side. You're going to fold twice. The right side, then you're going to fold twice, as you can see the way I'm doing it, the way I'm folding it. Please, I'm folding from the right side. As you can see, the way I'm folding it, it's on the right side. Then you get the modalizo. You also spot out the right side of your modalizo as I'm spotting out mine. Then you place the modalizo. Let me hope you can see the way I'm putting it on my gomesi. The way I'm putting the modalizo on the gomesi. The right side of the modalizo is facing up. We are going to stitch on it going downwards. You stitch on it through the stitched lines on the modalizo. I'm done with my modalizo. Hope you've seen how it was looking like. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment.